It's Week 17 of the National Football League. And coming up, we're going to see Keenan Allen. There are a few better in the red zone as he comes in fourth in touchdown receptions. It's the Chargers and the Rams under the lights on Sunday night.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and their Southern California rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Falcons about set to get us started, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession.
They'll be led out by last year's Super Bowl champion QB in his 14th NFL season now out of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 22 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
There were some signs of life from the ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
Akers, back-to-back catches.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 8 now.
In search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Robinson's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Throwing is Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. But one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Ready.
Now a 1st down throw, Stafford.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Robinson. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Here's Stafford.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Charger 17-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on third down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Kyle Van Noy, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
4th down, and we go from one man to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal.
Gay's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Taken at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We always look for guys with fresh legs down the stretch of a long NFL season. But in Week 16, he's the AFC Player of the Week, and looks like he's going to be strong for Week 17 as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Allen!
Austin Eckler
with another touchdown, number 24 on the year.
And the Chargers have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. Well, we've said it many times, he is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands, and on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go, and when you're an RB1 running back room, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there, but once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas, right?
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
On first down, they'll start out with Akers.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And not much room to speak of. We'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Nice job there on the tackle, keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
A give up the middle to Akers.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Out to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now it's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Man open is Robinson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 23 yards on the play.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Stafford. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on first and goal.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of him.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Back to throw, Stafford. And it's caught. Touchdown. Cooper Kupp, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Rams have regained the lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. A 10-play drive that time.
And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And the Rams are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception, and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Now Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Sebastian Joseph Day.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
On the give, this is Akers.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Gay knocks this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he returns this to the 22. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. From the 27, Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
The Chargers at 13-2 on the year. And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
76 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in his first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now it's Herbert.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Eckler.
Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes us all the way down to the 37.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It's Eckler again. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Herbert. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 23. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They'll run here with Spiller.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
He gets this out to Spiller.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining?
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams.
Touchdown number 15 on the year.
And the Chargers have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Hopkins with the extra point, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Play action. Stafford. He'll buy some time right.
Across the middle, he finds Robinson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They send him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Gonna let one fly for Robinson.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
From the 50, Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Stafford. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Joey Bosa drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
Partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaims center stage. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent, the blocking's been terrific, and obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. From the 30 on second down. Herbert trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Stafford. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Fourth down, and we go from one man to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense. When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
122 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a 1st down at the Rams' 23. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the 1st down.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down.
Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop it for an 8-yard loss. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth. Yes, he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
We talked about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Beckham the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams 16. A good pickup there at 22.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Touchdown, Chargers!
Mike Williams.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead is up to 8.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was the visiting Cardinals who get the road victory. Darrell Williams, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. a one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
He'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A give, Eckler running to the right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 50, here's Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 31-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 146 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just the series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just got to find a way to tackle someone.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Going right back to Akers. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one for about 4 to the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for L.A. A 45-yard punt for there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Herbert.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And good pursuit yet again by the Chargers as they stuff him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now it's Stafford. Now he's forced out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
167 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. To the right side to Eric Ebron.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
This is caught by Williams. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down.
From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
A second field goal here in this third quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now Stafford.
Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Stafford.
That That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 43. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down at Stafford. That'll be caught by Cup.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Back to throw, Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Stafford looks to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 40. Field. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now it's Herbert. And he's got his big tight end here.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Herbert now. And this is caught. He's got a touchdown. Eric Ebron, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Chargers extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it.
As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. I think we get it during the regular season, too. Because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulled out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table. Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, and he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they've relished a chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built up the efforts of this defense.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And a spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. Calling a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Beckham. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return.
And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out and ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Just what you want on a first down run.
Sean McVay unhappy on the sidelines visibly. He's made the decision to reach for the red flag. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So a good outcome for Sean McVay as the challenge is successful. Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler
with career touchdown number 70.
And the Chargers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. L.A. readies for its next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Kyle Van Noy able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, open man is Higbee, the tight end. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Going up top for Kupp. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with it back.
Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
So out come the Chargers.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
touchdown, Eckler. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. It's Eckler again. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler
Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Chargers have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, the goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
On 4th down, Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Chargers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line.
Now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So it winds up a very smart decision to throw the flag. They reset the spot, and now that's a 1st down. He's going to keep this again.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed him down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and it had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
They snap it to Herbert. This will be caught just inside the 10.
And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Gabe Neighbors,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Chargers add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams ready to go on offense. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
On 1st and 10, Stafford.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing is Stafford. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Stafford. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And they will remain well behind. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Chargers getting set to go.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Once more, here's Eckler. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Now the Rams offense getting the football back.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
A gain there of 30 big ones.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Stafford now to throw.
Complete. Jefferson to target. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. This game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Chargers,
they continue to show they'll be a tough out in the playoffs as they move to 14-2 on the year.